Your life is not made of grand moments. It's made of tiny choices you don't even remember. Each decision vanishes the moment you make it, but together, they silently decide who you become. Are you choosing, or are you just drifting? We live in a day and age where we are encouraged to be spontaneous, to go with the flow, to take risks, and to seize the moment. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing right now? Or even better, why did I make that decision back then? I mean, there are always reasons, justifications, rationales we tell ourselves for why we do what we do. But how often are those reasons, justifications, rationales actually true or even valid? How often do we just drift through life making decisions that lead us further and further away from the kind of life we actually want to live? Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that we all need to have a 5-year plan mapped out in front of us at all times, but I am suggesting that if we don't pay attention, we can find ourselves in a position where we look back and ask ourselves, how did I get here? Because let me tell you something, the reality is this: your life is just one forgotten decision after another. And if you don't like where you are right now, then chances are it's because you forgot to make the right decisions along the way. There was an author by the name of William James who once said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a man can change his life by altering his attitudes of mind." Now I know that sounds a little bit woo-woo, but stick with me here because he's got a point. You see, our life is a reflection of our dominant thoughts. If we think positively, if we have a positive mindset, then we're more likely to attract positive experiences into our lives. On the other hand, if we're constantly negative, well, then we're going to attract negative experiences. And what happens when we start to dwell on negative thoughts? Well, according to James, we begin to create a negative identity for ourselves. And once we've done that, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We start to believe that we are victims of circumstance, that there's no point trying to change because things will always be the same. So why bother trying? I mean, if we believe that about ourselves, then it stands to reason that we are probably not going to put too much effort into changing things, are we? You see, it all starts with our mindset. If we don't like where we are right now, then we need to change our mindset. We need to start thinking positively, because that will help us to start making better decisions. Better decisions that will help us to create the life we actually want to live. I read somewhere recently that the average person has between 12 and 60,000 thoughts per day, which means that we have the power to choose happiness. We have the power to choose what we think about, and we have the power to choose how we respond to things. Happiness is a choice, but so are a lot of other things. Whether we realize it or not, we're making decisions all the time, every day, multiple times per day. And most of those decisions are on autopilot. We don't even realize we're making them. So what do we do? Well, first of all, we need to become more aware of the decisions that we're making. We need to start paying attention to the thoughts that are running through our heads. And then we need to decide, are these thoughts helpful? Are they productive? Or are they just destructive and negative? Once we've done that, we need to start making changes. We need to start thinking differently, because our thoughts will eventually turn into actions. And if we can control our thoughts, well, then we can control our actions. That in turn will help us to create the life that we actually want to live. Do you remember the last time you made a snap decision, a spur-of-the-moment choice that you didn't really think through properly? Where did it lead you? Was it a good thing or a bad thing? Chances are, it's a mixture of both. I mean, there are always pros and cons to every decision we make. But ultimately, the decision is ours and ours alone. You can't blame anyone else for the choices that we make. So before you make your next big decision, I want you to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Or am I just drifting along with the flow? Because the truth is this, your life is just one forgotten decision after another. And if you don't like where you are right now, then it's time to start making some new decisions. Decisions that will help you to create the life that you want. Don't just drift along with the flow. Take control of your life because you are the only one who can. Subscribe for more existential wake-up calls.